Welcome everybody back to another Worldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Fruits Basket, episode 1 of season 3. Fruits Basket, the final season. Apparently one of the best seasons of anime ever.
I'm scared.
It's very scary stuff.
I'm sad that it's a shorter season. I mean, that probably means that it's going to be really good because it's going to, be really packed in. But I want it to just keep going on and on and on.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Check out our discussion last time for a bunch of cool stuff. And hope you guys leave a like and subscribe and check out Patreon to, I guess, probably see the end of it by this point. See the end of Fruits Basket. Probably. Because it's decently ahead. Yeah, so check that out. Hope you guys enjoy the reaction. Let's see what happens this episode. Oh boy. Whoa.
Very different vibe. It looks so depressing.
It's because it looks like real life. I love the blending of, like, there's CG, but there's just a lot of pictures, like, rendered in 3D, and... Did she just fart? The subs, like, are coming in with the smoke, and then it was, like, right behind her butt. I wonder if, like, these are probably the real life locations that are, like, maybe pictures that they took for reference. Whoa! Is that Momiji? Is there a time skip?
I hope not.
I noticed Kisa looked a little bit old, but I was like, she looks mostly the same.
Whoa. Very interesting.
Interesting opening.
This feels like such old news because we've been sitting on this for a while.
Why would they keep that secret?
But Akito's flat as a board.
Why? Does Akito not like being a girl because the misogyny stems from her mom? Kaguya.
I was thinking the same thing with the hair.
Oh.
Oh my god. Holy shit. This is disturbing.
I think there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Fuck.
Whoa. Whoa. I feel like she's going about, you know, expressing that in kind of the wrong way, though. Jesus. She just heard the whole thing. Oh my gosh, she's still there. What? What? She could sense the waves.
Clearly.
Toru's putting off really strong, sad waves.
I love how the subs just said, "Ta-da." It's in my custody. Nightgown festival? I'm gonna ask my friends if they want to come over for a nightgown festival. The sub said ta-da, but she was like, ta-ta-ta-da-da-da-da.
God damn it. I don't have any dinner. You should. I think you can do it. Tohru isn't magic.
Okay, we had a problem with the recording, so now we're just gonna keep going.
I wonder if Hana likes Tohru because she reminds her of her mom.
Maybe. Tohru's in my custody. The waves.
私にしか聞こえない声だけれど叫ぶように泣いていたから悲しいことがあったのね私何も言えなくて迷惑ばかりたくさんかけてなのに何もできなくて役にも立てなかった父ちゃんどの気持ちばかりでするのはトール君も同じよ私心配にのそうして人の気持ちを受け止めて大切にしてで背負っていつか潰されてしまうんじゃないかって見てくださいマフラー買ったのでポンポン付きなのでしまったら笑い顔も
Her poor scarf.
しまうんじゃないかってもしもそんなんなったらこの世の終わりだ私が呼んで早くこいつから走っちまったよバイト先から聞いてたなんつうか泣かせて最低だな、私最低なんかじゃないですお前はもう立たないやつなんかじゃない大好きだこのバカロブもういい今度は本当だクレノさんはきっと前と似てるんだ同じバカで私はきっとそういうバカが好きなんだ困らせんのは嫌だよしゃあないしゃあないアリサさん今の言葉を選ばなきゃでも時間をかけて得るものもある友人や恋人も無駄じゃない当たり前だろそれが私の信条だじゃあここからはパーティーを始めましょうかお手伝いいたします年上の女性に囲まれて敵のシチュエーション
Classic. What are you doing poking around here?
Oh boy.
いけない子ねいすずちゃんこんなところまで忍び込んできたの何かを探しているんでしょいすずちゃん知っているのよ私の力になれないかしら
The mom is really out in full force all of a sudden.
Yeah.
She's been awakened.
そうねもう自分の気持ちに一区切りつける気少しすっきりしたと思うわそれはもうないのかなそれはまた別のお話じゃないかしら恋愛は難しいねそうねどんな夜もやっぱり朝を迎えて明けない夜はやっぱりなくてまた一つずつ始めていきましょうただいま帰りましたですしぐれさん決められていらっしゃるのでしょう
Did he wash it?
私のマフラーでしょうあれ
やっぱそれ お前のやつだったか。見当違いじゃなくてよかった。ズタボロになって落ちてたぞ、道路に。一応洗ったけどあんま綺麗になんなかった。これが気になんなら新しいのお前。まだ乾いてねえ。だから。
ありがとうございます。もう絶対落としません。
そうかよ。お前昨日は花島のとこに泊まったのか。
ちゃんも来てくださって皆さんの出前祭りです。あーちゃん、ななちゃん。
おーす。
おはよう、トールくん。クレノさんが教えてくださった言葉の数々を。
Ooh.
Whoa. The style is crazy.
Mhm.
There's the baby.
Who's pregnant again? Someone is, but I can't remember.
Fucking that kid's mom.
Right.
I forget his name. What's his name? Hero.
Mhm.
Yuki looks so happy.
Mhm. What a great first episode back. Wow.
Wow.
I was almost tearing up just at the end there when it's just like, oh, it just feels so like old times, you know? And it's like we haven't even been watching it for that long. Like I imagine how hard this episode would have hit if you had to wait like a year or two or however long it was till this came out, you know?
Yeah. Big time.
Like, I don't know, just something about it. Like, in the first half, we have Akito's whole traumatic backstory. Like, not even the full thing, just a glimpse. But it said so much and really kind of fell in line with what we've been theorizing about a little bit. That, like, you know, Akito got made this way by someone. Possibly her mom. Turns out it is her mom, and her mom's just, like, a complete psychopath. It's like when Akito like grabs the mom and like launches her out into the courtyard. It's like that's the first time that Akito has been violent that I haven't been like, oh my god, this is an overreaction. What are you doing? I'm like, yeah, get that bitch, you know?
Just like bam, 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 like ah. Psh. Yeah, but is she wrong?
The mom, no, but well,
that's the thing. That's
the thing.
what's interesting about it,
But
is because she's not wrong.
It's the same thing that Akito is doing to everyone else.
Yeah.
Where it's like saying things that are like maybe the truth or like twisting the truth into the most hurtful way possible. Like the mom, and I feel like the mom, it's probably going to come back to the fact that the mom feels like she was robbed of a connection, of having like the ultimate bond with like the mother and child is supposed to be like the most sacred and most powerful bond. But before she even got to find out that she was pregnant, all these other people were like running up to her and grabbing her stomach and like, oh, we can't wait for you, we can't wait to meet you, kind of thing. And then I feel like, and then because Akito was raised as like, okay, now you have this crazy like magical bond with these other people, then the mom was kind of like not the first choice for Akito, you know what I mean?
Some jealousy there. Yeah, that's it's crazy we have an even more devouring mother.
Yeah.
But it's also it's like it's devouring mother, but it's also like this competition thing, because like Akito, obviously you can see looking at Akito's mom why Akito hates like the feminine image, you know what I mean? Like she's tall, long, beautiful hair, very slender, pretty face, big boobs, you know, a nice figure.
She looks a lot like Rin, actually, which is interesting, because the
she
most
hates
violence
Rin,
against a person happened against Rin, and they look very similar.
Yes.
You know, like, if you just saw the two of them, you'd think that they were like sisters or mother and daughter, you know?
Right.
So that's kind of crazy as well.
Yeah, it makes sense, the projection there. But and it's interesting, the like it seems like Akito's dad, Akira, was previous head of the family, right?
I guess so.
And like and was kind of entrusting everything to Akito as a little child. Then maybe that's the thing that like snapped with Akito, and Akito was just like, one day I'll, I'm the lead, like with you remember in Yuki's backstory? Maybe that was like the event that kind of switched shit up. But it's very interesting that it was the choice. So I maybe we need to think about this. It was the choice from birth that Akito was going to be raised as a boy, maybe because they couldn't have another child, or what? Or because they just had that bond. Because there's a couple things going on here. Like, Akito as a woman was born with like this power as a baby girl, and there, because of this like devouring mother type this like Oedipal relationship, the fact that how do I approach this? It's like what am I even trying to say here? So there's like the dynamic between them is such as it is because Ren, is it Ren? Yeah. Wanted a boy? Or is it just because they needed a boy because of the god figure needs to be a boy, or is generally a boy?
And then it was like, I have to like.
Or
fit
is that the thing where like this is or is it creating the kind of separation between the metaphor being redundant and like a real thing? Because like in a real family, affluent type situation, it would be more beneficial to have a boy, but the fact that the one with the power was born and it's a girl, and they need to like fit Akito into this box, the fact that the magic is like pushing one way, and then it's maybe saying something about the whole family dynamic and gender in that way. Do you see? Does that make sense? Like there's a couple things I'm trying to like separate here, and I'm having trouble.
It's very complicated that it's because I guess you could, if it had been Akito's choice, then there would have been a lot of obvious reasons for Akito wanting to like not be her mom, essentially, of like trying to be as far as far away as possible, is to just be a boy and like live like that, so that you can like in no way be associated as being similar to her, kind of thing. But it's interesting, that it was the mom, because we saw. I just want to see that what he said there.
Akito, you were born to be loved. Everyone was waiting for you.
It's just weird because, like, I guess I could see if Akito's dad had already died, and then if the mom was like having this like crazy crisis where she was trying to replace her dead husband, then like that would make sense. But then we see here that like seemingly wasn't the case.
It was before that. Right?
So then it's
maybe not. But
well, if Akito was raised from birth, then it makes it seem like it was maybe more like the head of the family. I swore that they said that.
I thought they did too. I thought that was the implication there.
So if that's the case, then it would make more sense if it was trying to fit the child into the box, like same like with how like Yuki gets brought in. It's like, oh well, you're the rat, so you're supposed to be like my Akito's number one, so you're gonna be in here with Akito. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hang on, let's see here. And they said Ren-san before, and I thought they were talking about Kurino. Like in season 1, I think they said Ren-san. And I think it was like maybe Shigure saying like, "Is Ren-san gonna be there?" And then they're like, "No," or whatever. And that was, or whenever it was in season 2, whenever we first got introduced to Kurino, like around the same time we heard Ren-san. I thought that was just I forget which character it was, but like one character's way of referring to Kurino as a shortened thing, because I forget who uses all the shortened names. Was it Momiji? It might have been Momiji.
I can't remember.
No,
that
I'm just thinking about one of the Zodiac characters like is only uses like shortened names, and I think like they say
Isn't
Tori.
Ayame?
they say Tori for Hatori. I don't think maybe.
Because I thought they were like hot. Like there's like multiple people named hot, and then they're like, "Can you stop with these names?"
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I thought that was Kurino was shortened to Ren, but there's already a Ren. Yeah, there's a lot going on there, and I feel like I'm tripping over myself trying to like pinpoint each individual aspect. There's like like you pointed out, the sacred relationship supposed to be between mother and child, and the corruption of that, which is kind of a theme that's already been there, but the fact that it is like the leader, and then between the mother and daughter is a specific sort of archetypal relationship.
It's interesting as well. Because
it creates a foil between Tohru and Kyoko as well.
Yeah, it's also different between like you have these like terrible like mother figures, and I feel like like there's a difference in like preferring a son and then like hating a daughter, if you know what I mean. Like I feel like a lot of times the like terrible moms, if they have like say a boy and a girl, the boy will be their like favorite, and the girl will be like kind of cast aside and like not as good. So it's just interesting here because it doesn't seem like Akito's mom was like, I always wanted a boy, so I want you to fill that, and then I'll treat you better because I'm viewing you this way and like deluding myself. It seems more like a punishment or trying to appease a standard set
it seems like you're taking, again, looking at femininity as like a strength, as like the prime female strength of like beauty and motherhood and a compassion, and like real compassion in the way that only like a mother or a in the way that Tohru gives and stuff like that, like that being the strength. The idea that this woman would who's bitter after losing her husband is taking away, in a way, the chicken or the egg. We keep going back to that, like whether one came first and this is the result of that, or whether these intentions sort of planted that seed, or whether it doesn't even matter, and the point is the relationship as they have now if you analyze it. Like the fact that because you see a lot with some moms, but like we talk about the devouring mother, but you're right, the difference between hating a daughter and wanting a son. Like women can replace their like husband with their son, and then they can feel bitter and resentful towards their daughter because they're younger. They're like a copy of them, basically.
Yeah, they see all the things that they don't like about themselves, or that they feel inadequate.
Yes,
and they feel like surpassed in a way.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm
so the mom is like I said before, how if Akito was the one making the choice, then it would make sense because she would be trying to distance herself from the mom. But it seems like the mom is trying to do the same thing but the other way, so it comes across very strange. Yeah. And then coming back around to the, like, it's not real. Like, the bonds aren't real, but then it's this weird thing because it's like the bond between... It's weird because it's the whole thing, and Akito very much takes up this same tactic of like, there's supposed to be an innate bond between us. Yeah. Therefore, I can treat you like shit, and the bond will still be there. Mm-hmm. It's like with a mother and a child, it's like I can abuse you your entire life, but I'm still your mother, and that's a real bond. Mm-hmm. But it's like, is that a real bond? Like, you know what I mean? Then it comes back around to, like, the whole thing of, like, okay, we have someone that, like, was bound to Akito and then had the chance to leave, but then didn't. And then it's like, well, then, like, there's something real there because they obviously care for each other. No. But then it's out, but then there's, like, because the thing of, like,
Akito guilted
But then I was gonna say, but
thing.
then it's like a guilt thing. So then it's I don't know. It's like this. Everything is so like messy and complicated. All of these relationships are just like, it's like not like each thing is not just one thing. You know what I mean? It's really complicated. And seeing the mom is just like seeing Akito, but like.
Yeah, I mean the same thing. What we talked about,
yeah.
like the jealousy or the stripping away the like Akito's power as like. You know, all of the strengths and the power of being a woman and being a feminine leader is like is basically on the face of it is taken away from Akito or in with this box that she's like pushed into. So the Akito obviously passes that down to her children or the people that she's in charge of all of the zodiacs, and resenting Tohru and Rin and stuff like that. For, you know, it's in a similar way that that Ren might resent Akito or might have prevented Akito from achieving like her hypothetical potential as like a full like as an unapologetically feminine woman, like as a leader, you know, because she's been put inside this box and like the secret of having to fake be a man the whole time. So the femininity is essentially like a taboo. So Akito, theoretically speaking, can't actually reach her full potential as like a caring motherly figure in the same way that Tohru is, like how Yuki described Tohru as like a mother. Yeah,
and then this, when she's like basically like, oh, I have a real bond, but
meanwhile the person's dead.
Yeah.
You know, but so how real is, like, I mean, it's real in the same way that Tohru has a bond with her mom, even though their mom's dead, but like, you know, you're foregoing your potential relationship with the present and the future and to live in the past and curse your children, you know.
Well, it's also this thing of I think like the differences here is she assumed that because she had a child that there would be a bond there and she wouldn't have to do anything to like facilitate that. But like you like in a relationship, unless it's like an arranged marriage or something like that, there isn't that like assumed, like if I met you, like when I met you, it's not like this assumed thing of like we can never escape each other and we never have to like be nice to each other because we're just trapped forever. You know what I mean? So it's like she had a relationship that she had to build and create that bond, and then when she had like, and I think this is like it tends to be like a common thing for parents. It's like the sense that their child owes them affection just because they gave birth to them, and it's like, well,
and the same thing is,
you didn't have to do that.
It's funny because you're applying this all to Ren, but every single point that you just made applies perfectly to Akito's relationship with all the other people. So again, it's history repeating itself, which is the kind of theme of the whole zodiacs in the metaphor in general, is that, you know, this promise that was made is now forgotten, and all that lingers is like the obligation.
And we see like an opposite in that, because like we see Tohru and Akito, and then we see Ren and Kyoko, and like how they're like opposites, and how their children have adopted like the same, like they basically the way that they were raised heavily influences how they interact with others. So Tohru has super strong bonds with almost every character in the show, even if they only meet her once. People are like, they're like impressed by her, or like she makes an impact on them just by having like one conversation with them. But Akito, every time someone meets Akito, they're just like, oh my god, get me away from this person.
Yeah, it's very, very confusing, but it makes perfect sense.
Everything makes sense. It's just like
trying to break it down is really difficult because it's very twisted up.
Yeah, and like I said, it's what's so great about this is it's not just one thing. Like, there's not just one aspect that goes into the relationships between any two characters. You know, like I feel like there's always like 2 or 3 different things. It's like okay, so Akito and Ren have like a mother-daughter relationship, but it's not just that. Akito's mom is being influenced by like the jealousy of her child having bonds with other people, as well as the like memory of this bond that she had with her husband. And then Akito is being influenced by like his mom treating him poorly, having a dead parent, as well as a bunch of expectations and these like other like tangible to Akito bonds with these other people. It's just, yeah, it's very like, it's so interesting, and I love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
I love it because we waited so long for this huge reveal, but I feel like it was set up enough that like when Ren gets introduced, it's not just like, okay, so now they added in this character to like make it more crazy or whatever. It makes perfect sense, because the entire time, every time you see Akito, it's like, where did you learn this behavior? Who taught you this, basically? And then we finally get the answer on that.
Yeah.
And once again, all these people just need to go to therapy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whole like I don't know. I don't know. The whole theme of femininity to me in this is so it's because like I thought it was more implicit like earlier on in the series, but as we go on, like it's just becoming it's clearly a very strong tenet of the whole story, which is just amazing to me, because I think it's really poignant, and it really is a great topic. I don't know. It's just very refreshing. It's a very refreshing take. It feels very
I feel like there's
good.
a lot of like very genuine depictions of like different types, like we're talking about, like, yeah, like different things that are like, you know, the devouring mother, or like, and like all these things that are like passed down and stuff like that. I feel like there are a lot of like I feel like there's a lot of like very honest depictions.
Yeah, even
and,
postpartum as well.
Like, yeah, even stuff that is like sometimes exaggerated, or like slight, like in the scene with Yuki's mom, and like how she just like goes a little bit too hard, maybe, but like the idea is there. And I feel like in this as well, it's like when Akito is just like going on and on, but then it still feels very genuine, and it feels like there is like a clear like exploration of like all of the different ways to like exist, and also into a lot of different more like feminine type of emotions. Like a lot of times in anime we get like, we're brothers, we're so brothers, we're all about being brother, like I just met you but we're brothers, you know, like that is like such a huge theme in Naruto, in so many other shows, and it's like that is like a very common thing that is like explored, of like what it means to like following your father's footsteps, and have a brother and a rival, and like that type of relationship. So I feel like it is really refreshing to see this show and see like a completely other side of just like being a person explored, even for all of the men in this show, that they are, because, you know, it's like a shoujo and stuff, they aren't afraid to be like, there's nothing about like looking weak, or
yeah, that's a good point.
Like pretty much all of the men in this show have no problem with crying, being vulnerable, and like asking for help, but also helping people, and they're, you know, able to be shy and bashful and strong, and like exhibit a full range of human emotion, and it never feels like, you know what I mean? Like they still feel, they feel, at least to me, like realistic, and sometimes it's like, you know, they're very like Prince Charming-esque, you know, sweep her off her feet kind of moments and stuff, but they feel like every character in the show feels so fully developed and has like so many facets to them that you can't help but like view them as real people, you know? And I feel like that really helps. Like we talk about every time Hana and Uo come on, it's just like, wow, they're such good friends. Like again in this episode, it's just like, wow, they're so amazing. And then we go back to the house, And we have what's her name, Megami there, and it's just like he's just kind of funny, and he's just a side character, but he really cares about his sister and his friends, and he likes to make funny jokes like, oh, I'm surrounded by older women or whatever, and they're like, shut up, you idiot. But you know, it's just like he clearly has such like a nice and wholesome bond with his sister, and I don't know, just like everything about, and like Hana's mom too. It's like we barely see her at all, and she's just like so cute and funny, and it's and just like and so
her.
Accepting of her weird emo children, you know. I don't know, it's just so good. And then when we go back to the house and we see just like in that interaction at the end how like, you know, Kyou took that scarf and he like put it down. He's still kind of in his old way. Like he's never gonna be like Yuki, where like Yuki could be like, oh look, I found like present like he would always like present her with like a grand gesture because he was, you know, that's what he felt like he should do in that situation. But Kyou, like, he really likes her and he's trying to do a nice thing. He's like, oh, it's still wet, and he starts chugging milk and stuff. And they're like, do this little like, oh, thanks, and he's just like, yeah, whatever kind of thing, like trying to play it off and be cool and stuff. And then Yuki comes in, and because of how much he's grown, he's just like so happy to like see them be happy, you know.
Before he would always get sad seeing that kind of thing. Yeah.
It's just so, like, I don't know.
There's a lot to love with the show.
I love this show.
Yeah.
I don't like the vibes that Shigure and Akito are gonna get together. Not gonna lie about that.
Unmistakable vibes.
Yeah, in the OP and the ED. Well.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got to have somebody. And Akito is like 20.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's alright, I guess. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. Who am I to judge, though? Who am I to judge if two cousins get together?
Shigure is really like, I loved you since the moment you were conceived.
Yeah, literally. That doesn't that make it more weird?
Doesn't it make it weird that he was alerted the exact second of conception and immediately flew to her mother, grabbed her pregnant stomach, and was like, I will wait for you.
Some straight up Jacob shit right there.
Yeah, you imprinted on my daughter?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Didn't even wait. Jacob is a gentleman compared to this guy.
Ugh. Alright. Well, leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye. Alrighty. Episode 2 of Season 3. Let's go. Starting at 0.
Those flowers.
Which flowers? Remind me.
Like the ones that Akito has in the ED.
Exactly. I remember that we had talked about, yeah, but I forgot where it was from. Okay. Oh boy.
それ他のみんなにも聞いて歩いてるんですか
質問してるのはこっち僕のこと好き
This is that shot where he gave her the flower.
誰よりも君を思うそれこそが揺るぎない事実好きですよアキト
Oh, shit. I was like, it looks like the opening, but like the vibe is very in the moment here.
It's deeply unsettling to see.
Momiji as a man.
Just kind of, it's just like, no, he should just stay like a kid forever, you know?
これ1個開いてみてもいい
どうぞお好きな
アキトが女だと知っているのは
Oh boy.
はい
Great cover up.
He knew what she was gonna ask.
そりゃまあ 留年すれば
Imagine if there were girls that were purposefully failing so that they'd get to graduate with Yuki.
パパがまたお
Oh.
でもモモが通う頃には
もみじ
何を言ったらいいのかどう思われるのでしょう
Oh my god. I'm gonna try and go give those to Yuki. Oh.
Oh, just for themselves.
What is this outfit? Like, what? That doesn't hide who you are at all, if that's what you're trying to do. They're like Chopper, but like going the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like, that's them.
ここは一つ穴埋めは
Kyou.
またてめえはそういう雰囲気の分だ
Yeah, but no one would steal your flowers.
終わらせてどこ行った
Oh.
Oh, so he has a fan club now?
So dumb.
この人は微妙な優しさで
Maybe we should start throwing all the flowers into like a communal box so it can't be distinguished whose is whose.
They can tell it by smell alone.
Oh
待ってりゃいいんじゃね
He just wants to be included.
yeah.
そうだ なんだか聞いたことないのに楽しそうおびっくりした
You okay? I just like to know where you are at every moment of the day.
どっち
挨拶を
Oh, she couldn't find where he went.
続けるのでなかなか追いつけないので意地になっただけです
挨拶なんて追いかけてきたのか俺のところでもなくありがとうなんでそこで逆ギレするかな本当
Wow.
遅いなあいつら違う遊び見つけて寄り道してんじゃねえのかなあいつらノリだけで生きてる感じするがもう溶けてる
もしも呪いがしたらどう思われますか
どうわかんねえやめろその手の類でもしも話とかすんのなんで沈んでんだ
いえすみません
別に俺怒ってるとかじゃないぞ
どうしよう
言い方があんなんだからいや
困らせたく
何こ
He's so mad.
取り上げられないだけ良かったんじゃない？大岡さばきよね。
ご機嫌いかがですか？何を？いすず？リンがどうかしたの？
What about her?
いすずさんも呪いを解こうと必死だというのに、ごめんなさい。そういえばお正月以来
やっぱ遅くなるってよ。
You haven't seen her in months after she had like a severe mental breakdown?
Yeah,
担当いじめ倒す。
とにかく会いに来てください。
oh my god.
もう十分がやばくないですか？ちょっと支配人をそっとしといていろいろ
Everyone's going through something.
Is that his parents?
連れも来たんで。
待ちなさい、しぐれ。アキトさんにご挨拶。
早くなりそうですし。行こう。
Are those his parents?
And they called him just Shigure.
ごめん、いるんだ残念ながら。
She's like, oh, if I had known that they were
I
your
need to see how
parents.
normal they are.
会食なんだってさ。りっちゃん店の決め方さ。そうだね。りっちゃんとりっちゃんだ。身分違いも甚だ。ご当主様のおなりだ。青白くて幽霊みたいでしょ。ほう。若いって。
An adult. I'm confident in it.
Respectably of drinking age.
だけど嫌いだよ。そう。僕ははっきり言ってあげる僕に感謝してくれよ。これで思う存分悲観ぶることができるだろう。見捨てないでやってほしい。これ以上冷たくあしらわないでやってほしい。
お帰りなさいませ。お帰りなさい。
I wonder then why
アキトさん、
why Shigure doesn't even
ここで
try.
誰も近づくな。
I don't know.
What is
Maybe
Shigure
because of
holding
Corona?
back for? Yeah, I guess.
お帰りなさい。皆さんとのお食事は楽しかったですか？そんな格好をしていると、ますます男の子のようですね。
何の意味でわざわざ寄った？
店で声をかけそびれた。
誰？
仕事の相手ですよ。
もう寝た？
それはきつい。
へえ、そうなの。女なら誰とでも寝るかと思った。
Where did you get that impression?
めちゃくちゃ言いますね、アキトさんは。
Talk about Mayu?
どの女です？
変だ！あんな女とはよくも。
古い話を。あなたからの罰も受けたはずですけど。
What?
That's why they haven't gotten together. Holy shit.
よく言う。離れたかったんだろう。ここから僕から。女と
That
that's
makes
pretty messed up.
that makes so much sense. That like really kind of
あの女のことが
he admitted to
Fuck my mouth.
he admitted to remembering the moment.
忘れて
Hmm.
じゃん。
忘れたなんて言っていません。
どうしてそんな試すようなことするの？
試しているんじゃないですよ。僕があの女と寝たのだって、君がクレナと寝たからなんだよ。
何？僕のせいかよ。僕は悪くない。僕のせいにするな。
誤解しないでくれないか、クレノ。僕は好きだよ。アキト。 トールに甘やかしたくなるし。
僕は特別なんだ。自由にしよう。僕の自由だ。
ぐちゃぐちゃに踏み潰してやりたくなるんだよ。もうやめましょう。今までのように同じ問答を繰り返すだけです。今日は帰ります。女を否定するくせに、そうやってすぐ女を利用するんだね。
Holy shit! This just got so spicy for no reason. Oh my god, it's fucking crazy, dude.
君が気づいていないだけで。待ってる。
Right.
そう
Jesus Christ.
でもあの人
Okay.
できてないよ。なんだっけ
Who's she asking about?
卒業やワンちゃん
Ring.
その時は家が飛び出すんだよ。
待っている。
Hmm. Jesus.
Oh no, she has the flower in there.
Hmm.
It was a little bit traumatizing, not gonna lie.
Traumatizing? Was it? Wow. Did you see that these are all drawn by the manga author?
Mhm.
Yes. She cut her hair? Ring had her hair was short.
I love that drawing. It's so fun.
This ending feels like it's just a huge spoiler, honestly. like it gives you that kind of end point of every relationship.
Yeah.
Like if you've been paying attention at all, it's just
It's like, oh, here's this couple,
Yeah.
here's this
Yeah.
couple, here's like this all kind of wrapped up.
yeah. Here's Momiji like, grown up, like looking like it'll be funny because there's a lot about like Yuki graduating.
Mhm.
And what it seems like Momiji's just gonna replace him. Just gonna
As like the
have a
cool,
huge glow up.
popular,
Yeah.
Everyone will be obsessed with him.
Holy fuck.
Shigure is really like, I was waiting for you since I was 12 and you were 5.
Yeah. I guess so.
These girls just back at it again with the terrible disguise. They look so stupid. Like they're like, oh yeah, we can hide our faces with bandanas. It's like, yeah, the other way around, you idiots. Like you cover your face with it, not just like they look like evil villains with like a mustache.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it's so silly. And then Tohru and Kyou have like this cute moment that's like immediately interrupted by everyone.
Mhm.
Everyone just like bursts back in the room right away. It's kind of sad though, because she is just in such like a terrible position where she kind of knows more than most people at this point, or like knows more than she's really supposed to. And
What would be the downside to just telling anyone? Like, is it just like a social thing? Like, you don't want to insert yourself where
I
you're
don't
not
know, 'cause-
allowed?
Because it's like, yeah, she could just tell them. I feel like also she wants to be, like, I don't know, because she doesn't know how the curse was broken, so she can't be like, hey, the curse was broken and I'm going to tell you how.
I feel like she must have some idea. Like, you have to have some idea, because Kurino told
guess
her, like, the entire story.
I
like,
guess,
everything that we saw, Kurino told her, right?
yeah.
So, like,
But we still don't know exactly what triggered it.
I'm sure telling him would be more beneficial and lead us down the road probably better, unless there's a reason that she can't. But it seems like it's just kind of like, why, because, like, I don't know what
I feel like,
is there a reason that I don't
maybe
understand?
it's a weird thing where she feels like she needs to protect, like, Kureno and Akito even a little bit, because she knows their secrets.
Right.
So
yeah, well,
it's this whole thing where she's very empathetic, she's very caring. She cares about everyone, but she's like trying to balance, like she's like juggling all of these things, like
Yeah.
oh, if I tell Kyou, then maybe it could help him, but like maybe it could also
Hurt
like
somebody
hurt
else.
somebody
Yeah, I
else,
guess it would
hurt
put
Kyou
Kureno
too,
in
because then
danger, or...
it could like, because we all know how volatile Akito is. Now also Tohru knows Akito's secrets, so if she just starts being like, yeah, Akito's a girl and Kureno is broken out of the curse, then people will be like, hey, like, if it gets back to them that she told someone, then you know what I mean, like it could just escalate and go crazy.
I want to see, yeah, I feel like that reason, although it makes sense, it feels a little bit thin from a narrative perspective, because it just, what's Toru's like agency?
Well,
and,
I
like,
think,
what can she do if she's not going to tell somebody about it?
Well, I think the thing is that she wants to tell someone about it.
That's why she's going to Reen.
That's what, yeah. And I think it's because she tries to bring it up with Shigure, but she can't do it. It's just too awkward. She doesn't know how to like approach the topic. She tries to bring it up to Kyou, but it's a sensitive subject for him. So she asks it in a way that's kind of like, oh, what if
giving him the opening
to that, if he's interested, yeah, then he can.
Because then she's not just spilling everything. Yeah, it's like,
and also she feels like she's in this horrible situation from knowing all of this, so she also doesn't want to put that on someone else if they aren't open to, like, she went and sought out these answers, but if she just goes and like screams it in someone's face that when they're not ready for it, which is why I think she's like found someone that she's like, oh, I already know that this person is interested in breaking the curse, so if I bring it up to her, then it's not going to be out of nowhere. It's in her interest and in something that she was already looking into.
And she's also kind of off on her own island in a way, like, because she's disconnecting herself from Haru. Mm-hmm. So she's kind of like, it won't spill out to anyone else, and then she can, like, with Reen, maybe figure something out or learn something, and, yeah.
Yeah. Kyou just looking so angry when they came in.
And we also got Machi and Yuki, little cute moment.
Yeah. That was cute. And she's just like so awkward. She's just like, I was just trying to say hi, and then I kept not finding you, so I've been walking around for half an hour trying to find you right now. Mm-hmm. And then now that I found you, I'm mad. I need to let you know about it. And she has this terrible flower that she like crushed up while trying to find him. I love that. That's nice.
And then we have Akito and Shigure with like the most fucked up, like, I haven't seen a K-drama, but I imagine they're a lot like this. Just this crazy fucking out of control, like, playing hard to get, this twisted up relationship. You fucked my younger brother, so I fucked your mom. Like, that's so crazy.
Yeah. Also, like, extra crazy. I'm also, like, interested of the timeline here, because it's like, was that, like, when Akito was, like, an infant?
No, Akito was, like, 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And Kureno would have been 16? 17?
Yeah.
When you break it down? Maybe 14. Akito looked like 12 or 13.
But Akito still looks very young. But
no, she doesn't.
They say it in the show. Like, they just said, like, oh, so, like,
she looks to be about 20. Like, you can tell. Like, it's not that.
I guess what I'm saying is like, she's always been like small and frail, but we know just based on how old people were when she was conceived. Because, like, we see them all.
Yeah, well, we know Shigure is 28.
Yeah.
And we know that Kureno is younger, because he calls Shigure Nissan. Mm-hmm. So, maybe a year or two?
I think he's maybe 2 years younger, because
So, 2 years younger. And then Akito is, like, 7 or 8 years younger. 7 years younger than Shigure. Which means then Kureno would be 5 years older. So, if Akito looks 12... then Kureno was 17.
Yeah.
So that's weird as shit.
Kureno, I think you need to go in jail, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's
This is
been
a pattern
with
for you.
he's been with Akito since then. So from the time of 12 or 13 till the time of 20, and he's
Yeah.
a grown man. He was a 22-year-old with a 17-year-old, maybe a 16-year-old depending on the birthdays. It's just kind of weird. And maybe Kureno is like an extra. Maybe Kureno's 3 or 4 years younger. But you know, I don't.
It's hard
know.
to tell.
I don't know. Either way, weird as shit. Really, I mean, the whole situation's weird as shit. Honestly,
This is very
very
messy.
steamy with this line of like, you deny your womanhood, but you're always ready to use it against me, and then they fucking go right at it. It was crazy. Just that little cut of animation. That's like the most animation we've seen in the whole show, and it's so fluid and like whoosh.
Yeah.
Like this show doesn't have a lot of animation. You know
I
what
love
I mean?
how
They
Akito,
kicked up the Sakuga for that fucking...
Akito is like, you sleep with every woman you meet, and he's like, no, I don't. That's ridiculous. And then he just whips off her tie like he's done it 10,000 times.
I mean, we didn't get the impression, like, okay, so the show isn't very sexual in general, like, overtly, except for, like, key moments like this, and, like, with a
Or,
couple
like,
times
jokes.
rain or jokes, but really not even then. Like, they're very explicitly sexual, you know? It's like, it can be romantic a lot, but, like, it saves the sexuality for, like, key moments. And, but, so, with that, I never got the idea, especially seeing the backstory with Mayu, I never got the idea that he fucked anyone. Like, I mean, it's kind of a reveal that he fucked Ren, but like, like Akito is getting the impression, I think maybe on purpose from Shigure, that Shigure is out because he's trying to like make her jealous.
Yeah.
That's why he had his publisher there and like was walking with her and looked back the way that he did and shit. Like he's trying to make it look like he's some kind of ladies' man, but. I don't know whether he's supposed to be an actual ladies' man and suave, and that's why he writes all of these sex novels or these romance novels, because he has a lot of experience and he's like been kind of like flippant and like I always got the impression that he was like not asexual, but just like he loves Akito and he's just removed from the dating sort of sphere, other than that one time with Mayu. But the way that it played out with Mayu, because she was in love with Hatori and because he was in love with Akito, they didn't do anything, and I thought that was like an example of like his one big relationship or how he acted in other relationships. But the way they're framing it now, either Shigure was performing as if he was a ladies' man, or he was a ladies' man and the story just didn't go into it, and he was like he does have a lot of experience with women and stuff like that to try and make Akito jealous. But I don't know if this is like the second time he had sex or the 10th time he had sex as a 28-year-old man, you know, like I'm not sure. Like I don't know which the story wants me to believe, because like this whole scene and the way that this relationship is playing out, it seems like he's sort of like he's gone off and experienced all these other things, kind of with this with the real goal in the back of his head, and then comes back like way more experienced than Akito.
But then,
you know.
But then
does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. I do think though that like just the way that they say stuff, then it makes it seem like he was just like faking.
Yeah.
Doing like he like was never in relationships, but he was always like saying stuff or like whatever that made it seem like, oh, he must be like sleeping around, or like his friends would like think like, oh, he never settles down, he never dates anyone, you know, but secretly it's just because he's in love with Akito the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, I cannot believe that. That's so crazy. Also, like, what the, like, Ren is an absolute psycho.
Yeah.
You know? Can you imagine?
Talk about the devouring mother, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Wow. Wow. That scene was crazy.
Yeah. And, like, it's so creepy with Shigure and, like, young Akito when he's like, she's like standing there with this flower, he is like standing a step below her on the ground and still like crouching down.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's just, yeah.
The thing is, like, if they were, it's just how much older he is.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, it's the age gap. If at this point in their life, it's not that weird. Like, it is a bit, is kind of strange, but it's only strange because they knew each other before. Like, if he was 3-4 years older, that's one thing, but like, it's just really weird for him to be like 7 or 8 years older, and from the time that Akito was born was doing, and you could say like, oh, innocent, whatever, like, but when Akito was 5, he was 12 or 13, so it's just kind of weird. It's not like, I get the story doesn't want it to be weird, or the author doesn't see it as weird, or it's a convention of shoujo or whatever. Everybody always had this conversation, and it's not the most important thing, I guess, but it is just kind of weird. But what I wonder about all this is, what does Shigure want at the end of the day? Obviously, Shigure wants to be with Akito,
yeah.
But also he has this weird, like, spite. I don't know if he wants to be equal with Akito, and that's why he's sort of like, he's a writer, so he's like a language craftsman, and you can tell with the way that he talks to Akito, he knows exactly what to say, like, to get her going and to like mess with her. So he's just like, but he has this thing where he also wants to like just beat her to a pulp.
I think he wants to break the curse so that no one else, like, because Akito is holding on to Kureno because he's the only one out of the curse, and
it's the
so
only
she has to
way
like keep him close. Yeah. So, but if no one's under the curse, then everyone can just be normal, and there won't be this like, I need to hold on to Kureno and keep him close because he's the only one, and I can't let other people know that the curse is broken and blah blah blah. Like, all of the things that make her draw towards him would kind of become irrelevant because it would be the same for everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe Shigure also wants to, like, yeah, I don't know.
Maybe Shigure wants to break the curse with everyone except for him and Akito.
I feel like he would want to break it with him so that then he can prove that he, like,
his true love.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it would make sense, but that's what I was kind of getting at, is the way that he's talking, the way he always, like, just in the conversations we've seen, especially this episode, from when they were young to now, it's like he always talks in a way where he leaves it open, and and the way he says, like, we've had this conversation so many times, he leaves it open in a way that forces her to come to terms with the reality. Like, he doesn't talk about Ren. He doesn't talk about Kureno. He doesn't talk about his life outside, or talk about, oh, like, who's that woman you're with? Just someone from work. It's like, someone from work, and that's like something that a cheating husband would say about their secretary or their, like, colleague or something. That's not, like, he could just say, it's my publisher, it's my editor, Like, and that's
give her
someone from work, that, like, that has an implication to it in that way, that, like, oh, there's someone from work. It's not, you didn't name your work relationship, you named the
like,
place where you
that's
where you
whoever, she's this person at work. Like,
it's like, if you say my publisher, that's like that's what they are to you. That's like your relationship. But if you say a person from work, that doesn't dictate the relationship you have. That leaves it open to something else. And that's on purpose, I think, to set Akito on edge. So, because then Akito actually has to pursue, it's this power dynamic where Akito is constantly, like, has it expects the love of everybody and expects everybody to pursue her, but Shigure maybe wants it on a more equal playing field, and that's why he wants to break the curse, because he wants, like, a real relationship with Akito. So, like, and you could tell, yeah, like I said, with the way that he brings stuff up when they were talking about the memory with the flower, it's just like, he's many times when they've talked about it, and specifically the one time where they showed, but it was just like, do you remember, Shigure? He's like, remember what? It's like he wants Akito to say, remember that beautiful moment we shared where you like comforted me and we made you told me how you really felt and that you loved me and stuff like that. And it was this really beautiful moment that like shaped our entire relationship and that I still cherish to this day. It's like you admitting that you remember that is an admission that you are like you need to pursue Shigure in that way. But that upsets the power dynamic and it ruins the power that Akito has. And again, because Akito, I guess maybe by choice at this point, Akito's the head of the family. Akito doesn't have to pretend to be a guy anymore, does he? Does she?
I mean, I feel like it'd be...
What would Ren do? Like that?
Yeah, what's Ren gonna... I don't...
Like, so Akito's in charge. Akito could... So that's why... the reason I bring that up is because Shigure said, you deny your womanhood, meaning it's a choice. And I'm like, yeah, I guess it is a choice because she doesn't have to do it anymore. She could easily just say... but I guess it would like undermine the whole clan and the whole system and the whole... like
if the mom had and this certain authority...
And it would confuse people and it's weird and whatever. It's, you know, but like... I guess that's the nature of like telling the truth, telling an uncomfortable truth in a way, no matter what it is. But the fact that when Shigure said that, I thought about it. I was just like, yeah, there's nothing keeping Akito from living a true life. And I guess that's the point of the whole story is that like when Akito accepts her femininity and, you know, her role in in an honest relationship, then things can be good. But like, and I guess I just liked the way that Shigure said that because it was just like, you deny your womanhood until you can use it against me. Because and we talked about the power that Akito has is like the power would normally be something like what Tohru has, this like the femininity, the motherhood, the like compassion and stuff like that. That's like what it means to be a woman, not what Akito thinks of, just like big tits and a slender figure and, you know, whatever, all the what and long beautiful flowing hair. It's like that's not what really matters. What really matters is, you know, what it really means to be a woman and like a strong female pillar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like all of that means all of that connects somehow, and I'm sure you could figure out how. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I guess it's just that the fact that it's just the power that Akito has is at this point like Akito is not accepting the true reality, both in her relationships with herself and her own place in relationships with Shigure or just in the household and whatever. Mostly with herself. Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe this is a big step towards that. I mean, I wonder what'll happen now. Like this happened. If this was going to happen, we figured this was going to happen at some point. Something like this, not quite exactly how it happened, but like this happened a lot earlier in the season than I would expect.
I thought like this was going to be like 3/4 of the way through kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm not sure. And then it seems like he was just like leaving her like in the dead of night. So I don't know. Like I feel like she will probably be upset by that.
I would.
Yeah, and like then what's he gonna do? Like, is he gonna just like continue being his normal, like, you know, how is their relationship gonna change, or is it gonna kind of stay the same until Akito changes something, or until the curse breaks, or you know what I mean? Like, you know, they did this, but like, how is that gonna change anything if he just like leaves and then things are the same? You know?
Yeah, I mean...
Or does she, like, let Kureno go? I
think that's what it is. This
like
is a building block.
Yeah.
It's like them reconnecting like this. And I wonder if this is even the first time. I honestly can't tell. It feels like it is.
I think...
It feels like it is, but, like, the fact that, like... It probably is. It probably is. But, like, the only small 1% of doubt is when he said, like, we've had this conversation so many times. But then that was before Akito did anything. So this is, like, a big breakthrough. I think it is, like, a building block, because then... Now, the fact that Shigure can do that, then walk away, and then leave Akito with her thoughts is gonna force her to kind of confront their relationship and and what she wants, and then that might be the key to Akito breaking the curse at the root, you know. I don't know.
This was a crazy episode. I can't believe how crazy. Like we just like 2 crazy episodes, kind of, you know.
Why doesn't Akito use her crazy mind powers to keep Shigure there to do what she wants?
I mean, I feel like we've gone over this, that, like, there's only so much influencing she can do.
It feels like there was none.
Yeah, it may seem that way.
What do you mean?
I'm just making the joke of, like, yes, it may seem like there is no hold over these people, but I assure you that there is. I'm telling you that if she wanted...
Yeah, I don't know. I really liked the episode.
Me too, it was crazy. I seriously was not expecting something so crazy. I still can't believe that he fucked her mom. That's so crazy.
Well, it's not that crazy when you consider the age difference. It's like, if Ren was 20, when, you know, like, it's still a big age difference. It's still like 12, 13 years, but it's 7 or 8 years between Shigure and Akito. So, like, if Shigure is, I don't know, maybe he was young. Maybe he was, like, 17.
It seemed like... Well, because we were saying that
17,
Akito was maybe around, like, 12 or 13, which means he would be, like, 18 or 19-ish. Yeah.
And then the mom, if she had a kid, she probably had a kid probably younger than 20. Given this family.
Young, and she still looked super young.
Maybe she had let's say she had a kid at 18. Then Shigure would have been 19, if Akito was then...
So she was, like, 40 and he was, like...
40? That's way older. She would be like 30.
Would she?
If she had a kid at 18 and Akito was 12,
like,
she'd be
she'd
30,
be like 30.
19 and 30. I mean, that's only a few years off, like, what the current relationship is with them.
True.
So, anyway, I don't know.
It's only one way to find out. And that's to subscribe to our channel and keep updated for our next video, and check out our Patreon if you want to get uncuts, and super far ahead you'll get to see our uncut timer reactions up to the end of this series at this point, which is kind of sad and to think about, and you can get uncut or edited reactions a week ahead, also on patreon.com/boldcast. Please leave a like, please subscribe, leave a comment. Goodbye.